Hi again. So yeah, I'm back. I am so for the past couple of days I was like kind of stressed because I had this backlog or failed in a course like last year, which I was like finishing now. The course is done. I don't know what the grades are, but hopefully this time it will be passed. Most probably it will be. Um, so yeah, past few days I have been working on that. Now it's done, so I'm back at recording audios and stuff. Right now my main next thing to do is to go back and do Pride and Prejudice. So as soon as that's done, I mean as soon as I get some time and I wake up early again, I'll finish that. I did some stuff today because today I was like, okay, this is. Oh yeah, also today is Holi. So if you don't know, Holi is basically the color festival of India. I'm pretty sure you must have seen it somewhere. Like a lot of color, fluorescent and like bright primary colors all over the place. It has its own like fun and downsides. Like as a kid, I used to enjoy it a lot, but as I grew old, one of the biggest hassles is just to wash the colors off of your body, because generally speaking, the quality of the color used. I'll explain about the festival like briefly. Um, Basically, in this festival, people will throw colors at each other. The colors can be of two form. Either it's like a powdered thing. It's called gulal. So it's basically a powdered color that you just use as like a. I don't even know what to call it. You just put it on other people's like forehead or something. Um, so that's one thing, and the other one is basically liquid color. So the quality of these colors, if it's not very good, it can be very hard to get them off. In fact, there are certain like specifically made colors which stay longer, and all of these are toxic. Like none of them are like good for your skin. So yeah, as I grew older, I kind of grew also because like I generally like don't like party environment that much. A lot of drinking, not alcohol drinking, but so basically there's this thing called bhang, which is like basically a form of weed. I'll actually look it up right now. Also, you might hear like some shouting and stuff in the background. It's badminton. People are playing badminton. It's actually kind of interesting. I'm in a boys' hostel, right? But there's a girl that almost comes every day to play badminton with the guys, which is nice to see. Okay, so I'm looking up bhang. I have seen this before. I'm not sure exactly what. So I'll just read off of Wikipedia. Bhang is an edible preparation made from the leaves of the cannabis plant originating from the Indian subcontinent. But yeah, so people are getting high everywhere. I don't drink or celebrate Holi in general. Not like celebrate as in I haven't celebrated any festival, to be honest, in a very long time. So I have been watching Valorant. Part of the reason my sleep schedule has been completely messed up. I will talk about Valorant in just a bit. But I had something very exciting to share, which is I made wallpaper for my PC. It's this is something I was like thinking about, that I made the wallpaper, and the first thing I thought was I wasn't very happy with it, because I was like, okay, there's this thing I can improve and this thing I can improve. And that's the thing, right, with things like these, like you can't improve if you are always like 100% satisfied by yourself, right? But I want to change that in my own and that's not always true. Like this is something I was just thinking about today. And I really wanted to be satisfied with what I make, right? I don't want to always like because it kind of takes away the fun from like making things in the first place, right? It takes away the fun of like making things. Like I never criticize or judge people if they draw badly, or they draw quote unquote badly, or they draw like in a style that I don't like. I never do that because I just grew out of it, like criticizing and kind of scrutinizing everything, talking about like quality and stuff. Especially being in a design school, I see a lot of people doing that, and it feels bad sometimes. People talking about like basically in a bit of a condescending way, to be honest. Talking about like other people's design choices and stuff. I don't like that. I think those are the things that make us special. So Anyways, I won't go about on a rant about that right now. But my point was that now I think after like reflecting on it, I'm pretty happy with what I've made. So I'll share the wallpaper with you again. Anything I make, at least most of the things that I make, I haven't yet made anything, but anything I make is free for any use, commercial or whatever. Feel free to use it however you want. But yeah, it's a wallpaper. I use it. I kind of like customize my PC as well to suit the wallpaper, to change the colors and stuff. One more thing that I'm like thinking of doing is buying a microphone stand. So basically, right now I have this is small like tripod kind of a stand, but I want those like it's called a scissor arm clamp, I think. Basically, it's the one which like is on the edge of your table, and it's like a huge like arm, like a crane arm or something, and it like comes from the top, so it doesn't like obstruct anything on the table. My point for that is so I can like play games or something while recording audio, and because right now I can't because my mic is in the way, right? It's on the table. So yeah. Anyway, so I it was pretty cheap. I think it's 700 rupees. That would be like $10 or something. So I'm looking into it. Definitely like thinking of buying it. But yeah. Okay. What else do I have? I'll share the wallpaper with you guys. It's a 1980 by 1920 by 1080 resolution. I like doing this thing where my wallpaper. Also, wait. Okay, I was just checking if there's too much noise. It was just me talking loudly. But yeah, I like doing this thing where my wallpaper. Like you'll see my wallpaper and there will be no icons in my desktop, and there will be one like image that so basically my there will be one folder in my desktop, but it will the icon of that image will be custom made and sorry camouflaged in the background. So I'll share the wallpaper with you. I'll share the icon as well. It's a paw icon. It's a camouflage in the background of my wallpaper. Okay. So yeah, okay. I wanted to say this. I have been watching Valorant. I have been walking around a little bit, and this is something that I know this is not my first time me realizing this, but I'm saying this for the first time. This happens to me so much. I'll just be walking around and see a girl, and I'll just say in my head, "Oh my God, she looks beautiful." Like these exact words. No word will be changed. Just oh my God, she looks beautiful. And I'll do this like the whole day. Like every time I see a girl, my brain just goes, oh my God, she looks beautiful. I'm watching Valorant, right? There's an intense match going on. They cut to the audience and I'll just see someone and my brain will just go, oh my God, she looks beautiful. I don't know. It just happens so much. I just wanted to share this. There's no reason behind sharing this. Yeah. Also this thing happens. So this I noticed. This I noticed like a few days ago. Whenever someone really pretty, like I think everyone is pretty, but when someone like especially pretty comes on the screen or like comes I see in real life or something, I'll get this feeling of like almost getting choked, and I realize that's what breathlessness is supposed to be like. Breathtaking. Like oh my God, you're breathtaking. That's what it's supposed to be like. I literally feel like gasping for air. Like someone will walk by and be like. Oh my God, she's so pretty. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share this. I really wanted to do. I see these like Reddit posts sometimes, like man appreciation or like male appreciation or whatever. I really want to do this with like women as well, but like I'm not. So there are two things. Like first, if I do this for body, it might like sway into NSFW. Not to mention the fact I have never seen like a woman like in real life without her clothes. But also, I should have tagged this as NSFW. I guess I'll tag it like a slight NSFW. But also because I think it's weird. I'm not doing this. Like if you are a guy and do this, or if you're a woman, if you do this, I don't think that's weird. Or if you do this for guys, I don't think that's weird. I think me doing it is weird. I don't know why. It's like the imposter syndrome or whatever, where I'm like. If I do this, I'm like doing something wrong. Like I'm doing something selfish or something like this. So I'll probably never do this. But yeah. Anyways, so are there any topics I want to talk about today? Yes, it's the Valorant matches. Here's the thing. I am not sure how boring this is going to be. So again, feel free to skip as usual. Um, Valorant tournament ended. I'll recap what happened in the tournament. So we start with 8 teams. Sentinels and Loud. They come from America. Sentinels is North American team and Loud is Brazilian team. Sentinels is the fan favorite. For 3 years, they have been the fan favorites. If there's one team in the entire of Valorant that's like, if you had to say a team, if you ask Valorant people just name a team, most people will say Sentinels. It's not, they haven't been good. So the history is that when the first ever world tournament happened, like international tournament happened, this was during COVID. Like there was no audience even. It was all physically, like they were together, but there was no audience because of COVID. It happened in Reykjavik. So when Masters Reykjavik, that is the name of the tournament. Masters Reykjavik happened. Reykjavik is the name of the place, by the way. When that happened, Sentinels won without dropping a single map. Just for context, that has never happened since Valorant has developed a lot and like people are like getting better, so it's hard to like win that dominantly. But Sentinels at that time, they won so like dominantly, it was unbelievable. Since then, they haven't won anything. They just have not won anything. They haven't even been to an international tournament for 3 years, I think. So despite all of this, like, they basically should have fallen out of relevancy, but they haven't. They have been a fan favorite. They have been a topic of discussion no matter what. And the sole reason for this Sentinels being so relevant is Tens. Tyson, Tens NGO. Tyson is his name. NGO is also his name. I don't know if it's pronounced something else. I'm sorry if it is. Sorry, Tyson, if you're listening to this. I hope you are not. You have a girlfriend. I mean, I guess you can listen to this even if you have a, what do you call it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. The point is that Tyson, he has been the face of Valorant. He has been the Valorant player forever. Like, his fan following is unmatched in this game. His reach, his popularity is unmatched in this game. He's like my age, actually. Is like 1 year older or 1 or 2 years older than me. He's married, I think, or at least engaged to Kaide, and it's very beautiful. Kaide, as I've mentioned before, I think briefly, she had cancer and is still going through some like procedures, but she has finished her chemotherapy, so she's, I think, recovering. She has grown back a lot of hair. So Tens is the reason Valorant Sentinels is so relevant. Okay, I promise I won't talk about any team for this long anymore. So Sentinels, for the past like 2-3 years, they have been changing people in their roster, except for Tens. They have been doing a lot of changes, but in the last year, they settled down on a version of this roster meaning the team basically, and they have been grinding. They didn't win anything. They didn't even qualify for any international tournament last year, but this year they came in very prepared, very trained, very drilled, and they played very well, and they won the regionals, the Americas regional. Loud is the second team. They are the Brazilian team. They are also the fan favorites, but no team is nearly as clouted is the word. Clout meaning basically popularity in young kids' words, young people words. What do you, like Gen Z or whatever. So Loud also won. Loud is one of my favorite teams. I think they're very creative. They're very good. They also came. They looked a bit shaky. They lost to Sentinels, but Sentinels looked very, very good. Then there is from EMEA, which is Europe basically. Let me look up what EMEA stands for actually. So from EMEA, there are two teams. Carmine Corp, which is actually the French Sentinels. Like, they have a huge fan following in French people. Apparently they are like very known in like football or something as well. I'm not sure. Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. That's EMEA. So there's that, and there is Team Heretics. both of these teams came in as underdogs. They were not supposed to qualify for this tournament. The two teams that were supposed to qualify were Navi and Fnatic, and both of them lost to these two teams. These two teams looked like they had a new energy. Like they look like they brought the new era of Valorant, the new generation of Valorant, young kids playing against the old veterans. It looked fantastic, and they won. Carmine Corp won the EME regionals. Team Heretics came second. Massive upsets. Upsets being basically when a team that's not supposed to win wins against a team that they who are supposed to win, and the larger the difference, the bigger the upset. The next region is China. China is the newest region. It was added last year, and they are the smallest region, the weakest region arguably. Edward Gaming, they have never won anything. I think the highest finish is 4th place, and they are not. They can upset some teams, but they're not really expected to win anything. And the next one is FPX. FPX is a brand new team, not brand new team, but like they're a super young team. They're not experienced at all. They're not supposed to do anything in this tournament. Last is Pacific, which is my region. Genji qualified, which is a full Korean team. They looked very good coming into the tournament, and now that the tournament has happened, I can tell you they were one of the better teams in the tournament. Definitely, like their players, who some of them were veterans, some of them new players, rookies as they're called. Were performing so good before coming into this tournament. It was unbelievable. And then PaperX. PaperX definitely looked very shaky. I think one of the biggest things was they lost, not lost, but like one of their main players, Jing, had to go do army duty. So he's in Singapore, and I think Singapore has this law of like army duty or whatever. So he's of that age, and he has gone to do army duty now. So like military training or whatever. So now they have replaced him with Monet. And by the way, there's a funny thing. So Genji, their duelist Texture, and PaperX's duelist Monet, both of these players were playing on Global Esports, my Indian team, and both of them didn't play on duelist or any good role, and they gave away both of those players. By just if you don't understand what it means, Global Esports right now is struggling to win anything. Like they're considered one of the worst teams in our region. I'm not surprised, neither sad, but like it's kind of surprising how they gave away such good players to different teams. But yeah, anyways, so the point being that Monet coming into PaperX, that shook the PaperX a lot, because they are not a team that had made any roster changes in a long time. So their confidence was definitely shaken. Like that was the main thing coming into Madrid. Madrid is where the international tournament happened. So everyone in PaperX and in the world was like, okay, PaperX is looking very weak right now, even though they can win matches just by pure firepower. Okay, so this is the scene setup. So the first set of matches happened. Loud lose against Genji. Kind of expected. So it's not kind of expected. So Loud you're favoring to win most of the time, but Genji looked very good coming into the tournament. Close match, but Genji take it. Then Carmine Corp versus FPX. As I've said, FPX weren't supposed to win anything. They did not. FPX did lose, but it was kind of a close game. Like it felt like if FPX had a bit more discipline, they could have won. Next match is Sentinels versus Team Heretics. First round, 10's aces, which is funny. Acing mean basically one of the coolest things you can do in Valorant, which is like alone kill like 5 people on the other team. Again, I'm sorry if you are uncomfortable by me using the word kill. I don't know what else to say, but I completely understand if not your thing. But basically, if you single-handedly kill 5 people on the other team, it's a 5-team game. Like each team has 5 players. So if you kill 5 people alone, like single-handedly, that's an ace. So that's how TENS starts his game. If you don't know, by the way, TENS was the reason TENS was so popular is also so popular is because he's one of the best like aimers in the world. Like his aim is super good. Okay, so Sentinels won against Team Heretics in a very close game. And lastly, PaperX versus EDG. EDG won against PaperX. Again, kind of expected because PaperX was looking very weak. Okay, next set of matches happened. Sentinels versus Carmine Corp. Sentinels just win against Carmine Corp, no problem. It was not no problem. It was a very tough match actually. It was a very close match and Sentinels scraped through. Team Heretics play against Paper X and lose. Team Heretics was looking like they could easily take Paper X, but somehow Paper X. I think this happened. So in the last map, Team Heretics started like trash talking Paper X, and after that, Paper X just started winning everything. So that was funny. After this, Team Heretics, because they lost to two teams, they had to go home. So that's our first elimination. The second elimination happens against Loud versus FPX. FPX lose to Loud. Again, they're not supposed to win anything, so they just go out, and that's our second elimination. Kamiko versus Sentinel. As I said, Sentinel wins. They haven't lost two games, so they still stay in the tournament. Genji versus EDG. EDG lose to Genji. They still stay in the tournament. So Genji and Sentinels, both of these teams move on to playoffs. So they don't have to play any more games. They are secured for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, grand finals. Okay. Coming back to Loud. So there are four teams left: Loud, Paper X, EDG, and Carmine Corp. So the first match is Carmine Corp versus Paper X. Again, Paper X somehow defeat Carmine Corp. Just as a reminder, Sentinels and Paper X, these two teams have somehow, like, this is random. So these teams playing each other, that's completely random. They tag team both EMEA teams, Team Heretics and Carmine Corp, out of the game. Okay. So that was funny. Everyone was like joking about it. Then the next thing is Loud versus EDG. So EDG again lose to Loud. This is the second team second Chinese team Loud has eliminated. The first being FPX, and what was the other one? Paper X versus Kamiko. Paper X wins, so they move on to playoff. And Loud versus FPX, they win, and Loud versus EDG, they move to playoff. So playoff. 4 matches. Is it 4 matches? So there's 2 quarterfinals, then 1 semifinals. Oh yeah, okay. So there are 4 matches. Sorry. There is 2 quarterfinals. 2 quarter. What do you call it? 2 quarterfinals. The winners fight each other for the grand final spot. So that's another match. And then the winner of the last game. Wait, am I missing something? Wait. So 2 teams play each other. 4 teams play each other. Winner of both fight for grand finals. Loser of that match fights the winner of the losers of the first match. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 games. Okay. So first game, Loud versus. So this is a regional rematch. Loud versus Sentinels. Genji versus Paper X. They have played each other before in their own region. Results actually exactly the same. Genji win again. Sentinels win again. Okay, cool. Genji and Sentinels play each other. Sentinels lose against Genji. They lost to 2 maps very badly, but they did win 1 map. Genji moves to grand finals. First time a Korean team has reached grand finals in an international stage. Okay. Loud and Paper X both lost, so they have to fight each other. Paper X wins out in an incredibly insane game. Like, that game was actually insane. So Paper X now get to fight Sentinels for a chance for grand finals. Sentinels and Paper X fight. Incredibly tough game, but Sentinels do win it out. And now finally Sentinels versus Genji. Sentinels in a long game, 5 maps. So basically they play 5 maps. Whoever wins 3 maps first wins. It goes to the length. So they play all 5 maps, and at last Sentinels do manage to win it out, and it was beautiful. Sentinels winning, I'm happy. I was rooting for Sentinels. A bit sad because a lot of this incites a lot of toxicity in comments and stuff. I don't really like it. I did engage with some. I'm sorry. I guilty pleasure, I guess. I have stopped engaging with those comments anymore. But yeah, a new agent was revealed as well, which is very interesting because the new agent is non-binary. Again, you can imagine the kind of toxicity in the comments and stuff about not using their pronouns properly or whatever. I don't really understand. These are kids probably. I don't know. But yeah. So I actually need to put LGBTQ ally in my Reddit profile. My friend has it, so I thought it would be cool to have it as well. I really hope that the audio is good. If it's not, that's completely fine. But yeah, okay. So I'll just update my profile quickly, and one second. Okay. So as I was saying, it's not updating as quickly as I expected it to. Anyway, so yeah, one thing that I saw tens before the match started, like before the grand finals started. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the reason I couldn't sleep. Like it went on till like 4 a.m. in my region. But Tens mentioned that he would really love to win in front of Kaide, and he did win, which was beautiful. And I was like, dude, I want this so badly. Like I, it's not like I really want someone to be rooting for me when I'm doing something. I really want to do something for someone. It's not like I don't have friends or whatever, but I think, and I really appreciate my friends for being there for me and everything. But I think, that connection that you have when you have a relationship with someone, right? Your significant other, that that bond is. I mean, again, some people, like especially nowadays, I think people are like treating that relationship like very lightly. Very lightly, in the sense like people are talking about like it's just another relationship in your life. You should be focusing on yourself, career, whatever. And I agree with that. People who are like that kind of minded, and that's completely fine. But I'm not that minded. I value, like, if I ever got in a relationship, I would give the most importance to that person in my life than anything else I would do. I don't necessarily think this is a good trait, but I think this is just who I am. That I almost obsessively give importance to people in my life, because I'm also afraid of losing people in my life very a lot. If you ever commented on my post or anything, you'll know how fast I reply. Like if I haven't replied to you, the only reason I have not is probably because I'm sleeping. Like it does worry me sometimes, because someone will comment or something on, or message me or something, and I'll instantly reply. I'm like, oh my god, they're going to think I'm weird. I hope you don't. Have this had happened to you with me. But yeah, I do. And this is just with normal friends, people I interact with, friends, whatever. Imagine how much more that could be if that's a person. And obviously, I'm never going to get in a relationship with a person who doesn't have as much commitment, as much want for me as I do for them, or her, I guess, because yeah, yeah. So I have thoughts about these, like, right, and it's something that some people really disagree on very strongly, which I understand. That's why it's very dangerous to talk about these things here. Not dangerous, but like very risky from my point of view, because maybe someone I might have hit off with very nicely hears this and is like, oh, I don't like this person, and they just go away, right? At least that's what goes on in my head. But I would really like to have someone like that, like someone to, like, when you win a tournament, like look back and someone to wave at, like, I did this for you. To dedicate your work to someone, right? But yeah, I really love their relationship, Kaide and Tense. I avoid watching them too much because it gives me like anxiety almost about like not having found someone yet. I do know I'm like quite young. I'm like 21, 22 or something. I don't know. But yeah, I was thinking of actually making a video, like an introductory video for my channel and Reddit, like which I could pin on my wall. But I didn't know what to talk about. Like I don't know what to mention in that. Like, okay, I'm like this. I was also thinking of making a Twitter account actually. I don't use Twitter. I've never used Twitter that much. I use Twitter very, very rarely. Um, mainly because at one point I did use Twitter and I was like toxic as hell on that. So I just got off that app very quickly. I think it's very easy to get toxic on it. It's kind of fun, to be honest. It's just not fun when you get too roped into it. But yeah, I avoid toxicity as much as possible. If you use Twitter, by the way, I don't, no shame on you or anything. As I said, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. I get it totally. But yeah, hope you're doing good, by the way. As I said, I just got off like a stress train basically. I'm very happy. I'm doing very good. I'm waiting for the next Valorant podcast. Name of the podcast is Plat Chat Valorant. Platinum Chatnum. Not Chatnum, just Platinum. Platinum is the rank. Basically, it's a rank. The name comes from Overwatch actually. So the podcast originates from Overwatch, and Plat Chat Valorant is for Valorant. But yeah. I've been good. I've been eating good. I've been okay. I have a question. So if you're still awake listening to this or anything, I have a question. I was thinking of this quote. I can't remember what the quote is. It's like, you have eaten well, you have slept well, but now be ready for, or something like this. I really can't remember. I used ChatGPT, but ChatGPT fumbled completely. I'll also mention I experimented it with ChatGPT. But the point is that there's this quote like, we have fed you well, or something like this. I'm so confused like what the quote is, but it's basically like, it's like raining or something. This is the scene that's in my head. It's like raining or something like this. Like some guy is like talking like, oh wait, I'm vaguely remembering it. I'll pause the recording as I try to remember it. I think it might be It Chapter 2, but I'm not sure. Each chapter 2 certainly has a scene like that. I'm not going to spoil it. By the way, I consider each chapter 1 and 2 to be like comedy horrors. They have a lot of like body horror and a little bit of comedy. I think comical horror. I don't think they're like very scary. I don't need to watch Midsommar. One of my friends suggested this is what happened. I was watching a video. I just saw Midsommar's like imagery. I didn't know it was Midsommar at the time. So I continued watching the video and like midway I realized that's Midsommar. I was like, this is a horror movie that looks amazing. But yeah, I do think it's chapter 2. Anyways, I need to learn to do this, like to let go of things like these. Like it annoys me so much. I have done this like a few times, but I need to work on it more. I needed to work on one more thing. I'm trying to remember what. I don't think. Oh yeah, the thing about like art, like making art and like being satisfied with it. But yeah, because it also kind of makes taking compliments very difficult. Like I have stopped doing this, I would say, completely. Like someone compliments you and you're like, oh no, it's not that good or whatever. Like I don't think it can come off as condescending, and yeah, I don't know. So I've like stopped doing it. And it's not like I'm not forcing myself to do it. I've come to terms with like, yeah, I think even if what I made didn't meet my expectation, it's good regardless. But yeah, the only thing that won't work with is food. If you make food and it's like not good, no one will. I mean, even if people say it's good, you have to say it's bad because you know it's bad. Okay. Anyways, I don't know what to do. Let me go to my gallery. I'm so happy I'm an adult because I can have my phone filled with stuff that I don't really need to like worry about. Okay, let me see. As I said, Holi is happening. Lots of like festivals, lots of like colors and stuff going around everywhere. Pretty fun. Okay, I'm just seeing through like my screenshots. I usually like just take screenshots for whenever I'm like doing something. Oh yeah, there's something I read. Okay, so as I said, the new agent is Clove, right? So someone said, basically there's a line in the game. I'll just say the line. It says, "Can't revive yourself," and someone quotes this line in the comments, and someone else says, "Yourself? You mean themselves, right?" And it's so funny because this is a comment I wrote. I really love your spirit, but you're grammatically wrong. Because it's so nice to see that someone is trying to be, inclusive or whatever, like trying to be supportive, but they got it wrong. Okay, one more thing. So this probably won't make sense to you if you don't know the game itself. Um, John Cutie is a player, by the way, and A and B are like sites. Usually, any map you play, you have to guess basically between A or B. You don't have to guess. You have to like analyze and understand whether the answer is A or B. In short, like. Okay, so this is a comment. This is not my comment. This is someone else's comment. It's a bit graphic. I'll just say this. So like skip like 10 seconds or something. Also, if you heard like a slap, it was like my hand hitting my thigh. Um, sorry if that was disturbing. That was not the disturbing part. The disturbing part is coming up. So skip like 10 seconds maybe. Okay. John Cutie became what everyone feared. His eyelids disappeared. His head was swelling and his ears started bleeding. Are you okay, John? Asks Tens. John responds, I have never been better, Tyson. I see it all now. They are not going A or B. They are going home. This is so funny. I don't. I just find this funny, like just this absurd humor, you know. But yeah. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. I have a lot of stuff here. Basically, screenshotting is my way of like bookmarking something, but like instead of doing it in app, I just do it. Oh my god, there's this photo of like these two cats wearing this like bandana or something, like wearing like it's so cute. I'll share this with you as well. I'll keep a note of like sharing it. The real question is, will I make a note? Actually, I'll make the note right now. I'll make it on WhatsApp, so because I don't have a notebook right now. On WhatsApp, by the way, what I mean by that is I just send a message to myself. Okay, there's something interesting I wanna share. So the way I type, I have fingernails which are quite long. I like keeping my fingernails long. Okay, I know you didn't know, but I am back. Okay, so what was I talking about? Yeah, I have fingernails, right? And one of the reasons is I just don't like having short nails. It feels kind of annoying, like very itchy almost. But one of the other reasons is when I type. So I'll type on my phone right now, right? And I have my phone close to the microphone, so hopefully you can hear this. But let me type something. Let me open a app where I can type something, and I'll type something. Just now I don't know if you could hear that. I'll check that. If not, I'll just remove the audio or like remove the silence. But if you could hear that, that was my nail touching the screen. So what happens is my nail kind of acts as like a extended, like I don't know. It acts like a cane, like a like a cane that blind people use or like old people use. So it basically stops my finger at a particular distance. So and I have gotten used to it, right? So when I have to press A, for example, so I'll do it right now. I'll so when I have to press A, right, I press like way ahead of it. So my nail goes way ahead of it and it stops my finger and like it touches A, right? So if I have to press R, for example, when I'm pressing R, my nail is pressing E. So my nail is just trying to press E, but my nail doesn't activate the screen, my finger does. So it ends up like making R. So this is how I type. Even on my keyboard, something like this will happen. Like I'll usually be like one letter ahead. No, like I'll so if I on my keyboard Q is above A. So if I have to press A, I'll almost be pressing Q with my nails. No, I think it's no. I'll be pressing. So if I have to press A, if I have to press Q, my nails will be touching Q, but my finger will be touching A. Because of this like weird like way my hand interacts, when I cut my nails, I mistype everything because my muscle memory is just not there. Like the nail isn't there, my cane isn't there, so my muscle memory just gets messed up and I like mistype a lot. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Also, it sounds so cool when I like type something and just click 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 click, but yeah. Also today is Monday, which is funny because um, I am realizing this slowly, but like having what do you call it? Wait, let me change something in my wow. Having the just now I'm realizing that America is like behind our time. Like it's not. I think it's getting what do you call it? It's becoming Monday right now in America. I'm not sure, which is funny because I always thought America would be ahead of us. Like America by now, Monday would have happened. That's what I at least assumed. I am fairly certain that's true. That's not true. I might be wrong, but that's what I thought, and it's very interesting to me. Yeah, it says it's 9 hours behind, like 9 or something hours, which is funny. I don't know. I just felt like America would be ahead of us, because it's like a more advanced country. I don't know. I'm bad with geography, okay. But I do love the fact that in Antarctica, like in both the poles, like northern and southern poles, also love saying southern. Like I used to say southern, but southern just sounds so good. Like it sounds so, so bougie. I don't know. Okay, so I was saying southern and northern poles, right? Winter and night and day basically last for like a year, 6 months. Let me actually check this fact because I read this a very long time ago. So it should logically be true. How long day last? Southern pole. No, I'll just write poles. The full length of polar nights is around 30 days. Wait, what? Okay. Polar night is a phenomenon. I'll just read this whole article because why not? This is Wikipedia, by the way. Polar night. The name of the article. Name of the article is Polar night. Polar night is a phenomenon in the northernmost and southernmost regions of India where night lasts for more than 20 hours. This occurs only inside the polar circles. The opposite phenomenon, polar day or midnight sun, occurs when sun remains above the horizon for more than 24 hours. And there are a couple of photos with Aurora Australis at the South Pole as well. Night is understood as the center of the sun being below a free horizon. So basically when you can't see the sun. Since the atmosphere refracts sunlight, polar day is longer than polar night. That's so interesting. That's so funny. I'm pretty sure got that, but in case you didn't, basically when the sun, if we think of moon, right? If the sun is under the horizon, if the sun is in a place where you can't see it, you just can't see it. There's no tricks to it. It's just under the horizon, so it's night. In that case, polar nights and polar days would be 50-50. But on Earth, the atmosphere is thick, right? So it actually kind of acts like water or glass. Basically, it refracts some of the light. So basically, if you see like if you have glasses like spectacles or even just like normal like water glasses or whatever, if you see like the edges, the images are like weird. That's because you can see like beyond what you're supposed to be able to see. There's one fun thing that I at least notice. Like I like this fact. I'm doing it right now. I don't know if this is true even, but actually it might be. So I at least had this theory that when you see something from the edges of your eyes, you can see more because the light enters your eye at an angle where it also refracts, so you can see like more. But I might be wrong. But the point being that okay, so I'm just trying to see how long the. I'm sorry, but I have to stop the recording here because my friend just came. But yeah, hope you're having a good day.